Hey, what's up? It's Tati back with another review of AEW Dynamite. Now, it's basically the go-home show for Forbidden Door. So your girl is hoping for a really solid show before the pay-per-view. I think I asked for way too much. Now, we started off the show with an unlikely match. It was the Guns versus the Hardys. And to be honest, I was like, whoa, well, why are we starting off with this? It just seemed a little off compared to like always having Orange Cassidy opening the show. But either way, we had these two tag teams opening the show. It was an average match. And less than 10 minutes, it was pretty much over. Now, I didn't really like that because for it to be just about 10 minutes or so, it feels kind of rushed, especially for an opening match. I don't like that. Now, this actually was setting up something much bigger, which was the main event for Collision. So, towards the end of this match, we do have Juice Robinson come out. The referee's trying to get him out. And then, in the meantime, we have Jay White that helps the Guns end up taking the win. After this, they ended up attacking the Hardys. And then Pretty Ricky Starks comes out and he helps out the Hardys. Then after that, FTR comes out. And for whatever reason, I just wasn't thinking about CM Punk. But then someone else come out. It's CM Punk, but he just looked like a generic white guy. So at first I was like, who the hell is that? Once the camera got on him, that's when I realized, oh, it's Punk. He just seems, I don't know, like, people have been saying that since Collision, they noticed that Punk doesn't look like he's in shape or whatever. Me personally, I don't really care about that. But in this moment, I just kind of felt like I just wasn't thinking about Punk coming out to help with that situation. And so what we're going to have for Collision is CM Punk, FTR, Ricky Starks versus the Guns and Bullet Club Gold. And I'm not mad at that. I actually like the fact that they are, I guess, promoting their Collision main event on Dynamite so we can make sure that people who are watching Dynamite heads over on Saturday to watch Collision. So I'm cool with that. But to be honest, I did not care for this match opening the show. So next we had Jeff Jarrett versus Mark Briscoe in a concession stands match. Now, this is not the first time we've gotten something like this in wrestling history, but this one got to be the worst. Now, to be honest, this was not needed. And I just felt like, once again, they're putting Mark Briscoe in a situation where it's just like not necessary for his career. I don't know if he's just trying to have fun right now and just enjoy himself. But ever since his last match with Samoa Joe at the Supercard of Honor, I just feel like his career, nothing of importance have happened since then. He has had some really great matches on Ring of Honor, but that's pretty much it. Nothing that really gets him anywhere. The match started off in front of a concession stand, and yeah, there's food and everything being involved. And guess what? Jay Lethal and friends are also involved. Even Karen Jarrett and her girlfriends got in a couple of hits in there too. And it's just like, what the hell is this? It's just too much. I couldn't really enjoy it, and I'm not surprised that we had interference by them, but it just felt like, damn, can they just do something, one thing, without having to have the whole team involved? They do take the match out into the ring. Now, Jay Lethal goes to get a table from where the timekeepers sit, so he can set it up for Jeff so Jeff can put Mark through a table. But then again, we see it's Papa Briscoe who's sitting at that table. So Papa Briscoe get involved and he's helping Mark throughout the rest of this match. But there's still a advantage here for Jeff Jarrett, who has everybody in his family involved, and it's just getting so annoying. So then Satnam Singh comes out, and now we're like, oh God, now Mark really needs help. Then we have Christopher Daniels, Best Friends, and Lucha Brothers. They come out and they help Mark Briscoe. And to be honest, it's like, this is a lot. Too much going on, especially with a pay-per-view literally days away. I don't want to see this shit. I want to see stuff that's like more relevant to the pay-per-view. This is definitely skippable. Mark takes the win after a roll-up, after Penta ends up kicking, giving a super kick to Jeff, and it's just like, whatever. To be honest, Mark should be somewhere else in his career, and it's just a waste of time with what they're doing with him right now. I'm over it. So next we hear from the BCC. They're letting the Elite know that they want to have a 5-on-5 match at Forbidden Door. So we have BCC, except for Brian, obviously. They have gotten Shada to be part of their team. Now they want to go against Adam and the Bucks, and they will have to pick 2 opponents of their choice to be on a team with them. And after that, we have Brian, who tells Okada he needs to get his ass out here later on the show, because he's calling him out, wants to see, who's the real amateur and who's really the best in the world and all that shit. It's okay. I'm not worried about it. I figured Okada would come at the end of the show anyway. It's great to see BCC out, and I'm not surprised that they're being thrown into this pay-per-view. Now, up next, we had Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Suzuki versus AR Fox, Darius Martin, and who's the other one? Action Andretti. Actually, this is actually once the show started getting a little more watchable. This was a great match. I'm really glad this wasn't a squash match. I was kind of feeling a little worried because I felt like, Jericho, Sammy, and Suzuki was going to take this win. But I really wanted AR's team to look good here, too, because they've been doing really well consistently in ROH. And I'm glad that they're putting them on AEW TV. So, fans who are not watching ROH can see what's going on over there. Now, they have a really great match. I enjoyed everyone here. Match wasn't too long. Everyone got to do what they normally do. The only thing that was a little different is that I felt like we didn't get to see Suzuki being his normal off-the-wall self, like how we normally see him. He was a little more tame in this match compared to other matches. But either way, this is the part where Dynamite actually started looking watchable. So what we end up having is Jericho's team end up taking the win. That's no surprise. After that, Jericho's on the mic and he's saying, hey, everybody wants to see me go against Sting except for me. And, people are booing. They're upset because they actually do want to see these 2 guys together. Me personally, no, not at this point of their careers. But people want to see it, and you got to give the people what they want, right? Sting and Darby comes out. And now they have announced a trios match where it's going to be Suzuki, Jericho, and Sammy versus Sting, Darby, and a partner of their choice that they're going to announce on Collision. So I think that's a good thing because now they're giving another reason for you to tune into Collision on Saturday. So I like that they did it like that. But literally, Collision is like 24 hours before Forbidden Door. I wish we just had so much more time to get a good build into this pay-per-view. It's really annoying that they did not take advantage of this last month to make Forbidden Door look much more solid going into the pay-per-view. So last week, they talked about this blind tag team thing where people will be randomly assigned with someone else to be part of a tag team. And tonight, what they did is they had a whole bunch of names written into some like bubble thing. And then what's his name? RJ City, he's turning that thing around. And then Shivani will pick out the balls with the name on there or whatever. They pull out 2, and these first 2 are going to be a tag team. But then they don't want to show who it is. They said tune into Dynamite next week to find out. I'm like, well, what the hell is this? Did y'all even have to do this? They didn't have to. But a little later on in the show, things make a little more sense. After that, we have what people are saying is a pre-recorded video of Kenny, the Bucks, and Adam basically accepting BCC's match, this 5-on-5 match at Forbidden Door. Now, they need 2 partners. Obviously, Kenny can't be involved because he's going to go against Will Ospreay. So then they showed that Eddie Kingston's going to be part of their team. And Eddie's like, well, I don't like y'all, but I'm still going to be part of your team. And this last person that's going to be part of the team is going to be somebody that I'm going to pick. So Eddie Kingston's going to pick someone that he knows and trusts that could be part of their team. He only wants to be in this match because he got beef with Claudio, and it's a never-ending beef. And he's going to go wherever Claudio's at so that they can finish some business. So next, Adam Cole comes out crying for another rematch, and real talk, I don't want to see that. Now, he calls out MJF. MJF comes out, they're getting into it with some words. And to be honest, this whole thing ran a little way longer than I would have liked. In the middle of them going at it on the mic, we do have a video from Tanahashi. He is giving us all the English he can give, letting us know that MJF is basically a coward for not accepting a match between him and between the two of them for the Triple B. So Adam Cole gets the crowd to chant that MJF is a coward. MJF is obviously mad about that. So he ends up saying, you know what? He's going to have that match with Tanahashi. He's going to whoop his ass and retain the title, which I see happening anyway. Now, in the middle of that, then Tony Schiavone comes out and he's like, oh, he got an announcement to make. And both of them told Tony to shut up. And to be honest, I said it too, because really, Tony just be popping up at the most random moments. But he's here to announce that the two names that they have pulled out for the blind tag team bullshit thing was actually Adam Cole and MJF. They want us to believe that that was random. That is just absolutely insane. So with this whole blind tournament thing, MJF and Adam Cole are going to be tag team partners. I think that makes things interesting, to be honest with you, because really I don't want to see these two go at it one-on-one. But I'm pretty sure with this whole thing of them being a tag team, later on we will see a rematch. Next up, and my favorite match of the night, was Orange Cassidy, Shibata versus Daniel Garcia and Zack Sabre Jr. Now, my complaint here was that I think it ran a little longer than what it was necessary, but I also felt like we didn't get a chance to see the best from these guys. All four of these guys are absolutely amazing in the ring. Yeah, I don't like Orange Cassidy, I talk shit about him, but I do think he's a great worker. I just wish he would just drop that stupid gimmick thing and his matches would actually be much better. But I just felt like everybody held back a bit. I've seen all these guys in so many matches and I just felt like we didn't get the best from them. But I'm not going to complain about that, because at the end of this, we do have Daniel and Zack Sabre Jr. getting the win when Orange Cassidy accidentally hits an orange punch onto Shibata and they get the win. After that, all four of these guys are holding the international title and they're all having a stare down, and it's official. We get a fatal four-way match with all four of these guys at Forbidden Door. So now I'm like, you know what? Y'all held back a little bit, I think, in this match. Now we're going to see the best from these guys at Forbidden Door. So I'm not really mad at it. This was my favorite match of the night. Even though I didn't feel like they all gave their absolute best here, but I'm cool with it. I'm really looking forward to see what they do at Forbidden Door, even though I know the title definitely won't change hands. So next we have our homie Will Ospreay making it into the building. He's having an interview and he's saying he don't like how the Canadians are talking shit about him online, and you know, he just don't trust them. Then Uncle Don comes out and he's letting him know that he's offering some special security for him in Canada to make sure everything goes perfectly fine for Will Ospreay. He just want to make sure that he ends up picking up that win and snatching the IWGP US title from Kenny Omega. And I'm wondering if this is him letting us know that there's going to be some interference during that match. Most likely that's what he means here. Either way, I'm not really sure if Kenny Omega is going to end up retaining this title. I think he's only defended it twice. If I say 3, I'm probably lying, but twice that I actually couldn't remember of him defending this title since he won it back in January. So I don't know. Will Ospreay I think will do it a little bit more justice, only because I feel like Kenny is just really busy with AEW. So if he dropped the title, I really would be mad at that. So now we have the main event, which is Taya Valkyrie versus Chris Statlander. Right before that comes on, we get a quick video package of Toni Storm. She's going to be defending her AEW Women's title at Forbidden Door against, guess who, you guys? Willow Nightingale? What the fuck? Now look, Willow Nightingale, she is holding a New Japan title. However, this is shit we can get any time on AEW TV. I don't want to see these two go at it. New Japan have women on their roster. Why are they not getting any of these girls? Now, if it's something that has to do with visa, I don't know. But this is something that could have been done months in advance. We already knew that Forbidden Door was going to be this year, so they could have gotten somebody ready to go for the women's title at Forbidden Door from New Japan. Honestly, I'm not even happy about it. It is what it is. Taya versus Chris, the TBS title is on the line. This is actually the best match that Chris has had since she's returned to AEW. However, there were some off moments in this match. I do feel like they're trying. I see the effort that they're putting in, but I just feel like something about the women's division, whether it's the TBS title or the AEW women's title, the division does not feel so strong. And I just want to feel so much better about the women's division, regardless of what promotion it is. And it just always seems like the ladies are lacking in something. And I really wish that they would get a little bit more help. It's not just in the ring, but these stories too. Sometimes they just don't hit the way that AEW would like for them to hit. And I don't know. I'm a little bored with this. Chris does retain, but I'm not really wowed by what's going on. Is Chris Statlander back prematurely? I wouldn't say that she is. What I would say is that I didn't think she was ready to be the TBS champion. Okay, so before I go into how they close off the show, they announced the matches for the Owen Hart tournament. Now, it happened so freaking fast where they showed it on TV where it was like, I didn't get a chance to see anything besides the first match. So the first match is going to be at Forbidden Door, and that's going to be CM Punk versus Kojima at the pay-per-view. And then from there, every week on a different show, the tournament will continue. So obviously there's for the men and for the women. And I think Ricky Starks is in it. I'm pretty sure Hobbs is in it. He better be in it. But I can't remember who else was in it because the graphics came by so fast. I didn't get a chance to read everything. To be honest, seeing CM Punk's name on this really makes me nervous because I think that this cup should be for people, these younger talent that needs opportunity. When Hobbs said on Collision that, he was going to be in it, or wants to be in it, whatever situation was, I was having high hopes for him because they dropped the ball on him. And I felt like this would be a really great redemption story for Hobbs. So I would love to see him take this win. Also with Ricky Starks too, but Ricky has been looking better on TV than Hobbs. So personally, my pick would be Hobbs to win this. So yeah, I feel like they're going to fuck this up. I forgot who was in it for the ladies. But like I said, it came on the screen so quick and then it was just gone. I'll definitely get into that probably with my Rampage review. So Eddie Kingston comes out. He's supposed to let us know who's going to be the person he chooses to be part of his team with the Bucks and Adam Page. Now, before he gets to that, he's like, everybody knows how much he basically hates everybody, but there's no one he hates more than Claudio Castagnoli. Now, while he's saying all this, Moxley comes out through the crowd, and there's animosity between these two, but it seems like they still have respect for each other. Like there's still somewhat of maybe a friendship between the two of them. But Eddie Kingston is like, when I was gone, you ended up getting Claudio to be part of the BCC, and now y'all besties and everything like that. When you know that I've been beefing with him since I was in my mama's womb, what's going on here? Now, it just seems like they don't want to get into no physical conflict with each other. Maybe they're saving something between Mox and Eddie Kingston somewhere down the line. Maybe, I don't know. But I kind of like how they don't ruin their friendship over this whole thing. But oddly enough, Kingston announced who his partner is going to be part of that match, and he chooses Ishii, which is like so obvious. Now, Ishii comes out, Moxley leaves the ring, and BCC attacks Eddie Kingston. It's like Moxley just turned his back, and the rest of them just came in and swarmed up on him. Ishii gets in the ring, and he's helping out Eddie Kingston or whatnot. And I'm just like, okay, so maybe they are leaving a door open for Moxley and Kingston. We'll see about that. I don't know. Now, with that going on, we do have Okada comes out. Not surprised about it. He has a stare down with Bryan in the ring. Then Wheeler Yuta attacks Okada from behind, and he holds Okada. And Bryan is going to hit a running knee onto Okada, but Okada moves out the way. Wheeler Yuta gets hit instead. Now, Okada's about to hit that Rainmaker onto Bryan, but Bryan ends up escaping, so he ends up hitting it on Wheeler Yuta instead. Wheeler Yuta's like the runt of the group, so it doesn't really surprise anybody that it's Wheeler Yuta who's getting attacked, and the rest of the group is letting it happen or whatever. So I'm not surprised about it. I liked how the show ended, but I don't think it was as strong as how we've seen it before. So something about it was like, oh, this is okay, but not the best. Last week, Dynamite was way better than this week. And to be honest with how successful Collision was, I think AEW should have looked at that and tried to give the fans something just as good with Dynamite being their bigger show. But they fell flat on that. It was just an average show. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back tomorrow with ROH.